Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of the DnA podcast. I am your host, Darius Dominguez.
I'm the co-host, Andrew Matos.
And on this week's episode, we got some huge Spider-Man news, including Spider-Man 3, Doctor Strange, and Electro.
And we might see a lot of more Deadpool soon in the MCU.
Yes, as well as some movies being pushed back and some movies being pulled forward.
And we got much more
on this week's episode. So first of all, I want to address that obviously this week's episode sounds a lot different because we're not doing it the regular way we do it because it's just too cold outside now, and you know, with the exactly with the pandemic happening, can't really do it inside, so we're just going to do it remotely from our houses and see how this goes. And it's you know, I think it'll be a lot easier to record, obviously, and it might be better content. So let's get into it. The giveaway we mentioned last week, we want to extend it 1 week. So Andrew, if you want to explain the giveaway again.
Sure. So the games are Gears of War 2 and 3 on the Xbox, and it just if you go to our Instagram page or go to our YouTube page, just put down hashtag Gears, and we'll pick a winner, and then we'll DM you the codes and go from there.
That's all it is. So all you have to do, like Andrew said, is under our YouTube video or under the podcast on YouTube or on our latest Instagram post, all you have to do is either say, you know, comment Gears of War or hashtag Gears, and you're entered for a chance to win this giveaway. We will announce a winner at the beginning of next week's episode. So we're extending it 1 week just to make it a little bit more fair. So, Andrew, we have some interesting Spider-Man 3 news, don't we, this week?
Mm-hmm. Yes, we do.
So, we mentioned Jamie Foxx. We mentioned last week that Jamie Foxx was rumored to be coming back, but he's, you know, he is playing Electro now.
Yeah, it's confirmed to play Electro, yeah.
Exactly. So, let's start with, you know, now that it's confirmed, how do you feel?
He played a really good Electro in the Amazing Spider-Man 2, to tell you the truth. I actually enjoyed it.
I thought so too, yeah. No, I thought he was really good. I think they just did a few things wrong, but it had nothing to do with him as an actor, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
He's pretty good. So he also confirmed between our last episode when we recorded and now that he won't be blue. Like, he won't have the same design.
Yeah, he won't have the same design. He's going to be like the original one with the electric, like with the mask and everything.
Right, yeah. Well, I'm not...
Be green and yellow.
I think it'll be more modern. Like, I think it'll just be like a suit. Not like with the mask and everything. Yeah, but I think he'll have the same like color scheme and like green and yellow like he used to be. So I think that's pretty cool. Like that's really cool. But yeah, just, you know, getting this news after, you know, the year it's been, it's pretty cool to like talk about these movies coming back.
Yeah, exactly. I can't wait, man. Like, I think he's gonna do a really good job as Electro.
I think so too. Because like in this universe, like as we've seen, the movies are just so much better. Like they're so well written, and like obviously he's a fantastic actor, and I like the way he played Max Dillon before, right? Like I thought he was really good. So I think it's going to be, you know, really good movie. I think it's going to be really, because we know what Tom Holland can do, right? So sorry, continue.
Yeah, exactly. No, I was just saying, like, I think he's going to pull it off. That's a really good Electro. That's when the duo comes out to do Spider-Man.
Exactly. The other thing that came out, like literally today, and this is via at Discussing Film on Twitter. I get most of, just a little shout out to them. Well, obviously they're way bigger than us, but I get a lot of my news and source stuff from there. So this is coming from them on Twitter, that Doctor Strange or Benedict Cumberbatch will be playing Doctor Strange in Spider-Man 3. He will be in Spider-Man 3. So that's awesome. Interesting, because that opens up a whole idea for a multiverse.
Yeah, I think that's what the route's going for, to tell you the truth.
I mean, it's been rumored for so long, right? So
yeah,
I think that's something that they can definitely do. Like, if they want to do it, they can just do it. You know what I mean? And having him in there, like, it could happen. So, what are we feeling? Is it going to be Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield? Like, what do you think is going to happen?
If they do something like that dude, like, I think that'll be like, Marvel just skyrocket like even higher. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And I think like Electro is just the villain in this movie, but I think with Doctor Strange in this movie as well, I have a feeling by the end of this movie, it's going to set up Spider-Man interacting with Venom in that universe, and vice versa, and Spider-Man having his own multiverse, including like Tobey Maguire and what's it called, Andrew Garfield.
Yeah. But wasn't a rumor too that John Cena was gonna play Sandman?
But it hasn't been confirmed. But like to me, Jamie Foxx, the way he played Electro, like that could have just been the only villain in the Amazing Spider-Man 2, and it would have been a fantastic movie.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
they had to throw freaking Green Goblin.
They added way too much in there. You know what I mean? And we saw that being a problem with Spider-Man 3, like the original one. Like there's too much going on, right?
Yeah,
so
exactly, yeah.
I think if they just stick to Electro, because we know what Jamie Foxx can do, like it'll be good. I don't. Yeah. There's no complaints.
No, I totally agree.
The other thing too that I was thinking, and why I think it might be a multiverse, is it's the same actor. It's Jamie Foxx, and yeah, he looks a little bit different. But if it's a multiverse, he would look a little bit different, right?
Yeah, it'd be cool too. Like if Andrew Garfield make an appearance as Peter Parker in this multiverse one.
Yeah.
With the movie, it'll be cool. Like say I have exactly the same guy in my universe, but he's blue.
But he's blue. Exactly, right? Yeah. Like there's a lot they can do there, right? Like I think there's like so much that they haven't told us that is still going to happen. It's going to blow our minds, I think. Like that's huge news, right?
So too. Yeah, exactly. I can't wait, man.
I can't wait either. And the director of the new Doctor Strange movie that I think they're going to start filming it this month, I think I read or something. I think I mentioned last episode. Sam Raimi, right?
Yeah, Sam Raimi.
And he directed the original Spider-Man movies.
Yeah, he's a really good director, man. That guy.
Great director, yeah. But that's my point. Like everything seems to be... he's directing Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange is in the new Spider-Man 3 movie. The same actor who played Electro in a different Spider-Man universe is playing Electro again. Like there's a lot going on there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
There could be some tie-overs and some old faces coming back. I would lose my mind in the theater if I saw Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man again.
Me too. I will definitely go like ape shit.
I would like a little kid in the theater again.
Yeah, like oh my god.
Literally. Like it would be bad. It would be bad.
I was screaming like a little girl if he comes.
Yeah, literally, like just so loud, just ear piercing. It would be just a disaster. But that would be that would be amazing.
Yeah, me too. I totally agree. That would too. I can't wait.
So I'm super excited for Spider-Man 3. And they also confirmed, Zendaya's coming back, and what's his name? Jacob Babylon, I think, who plays Ned, is also returning. Like, most of the cast is returning. It's just we have Jamie Foxx now, which is super cool. So let's move along. Well, unless you have something to add.
Yeah. No, I was just going to say, I was going to move along, too. Speaking of another MCU news,
yes.
Ryan Reynolds is, this is rumored, going to be in the Marvel Universe or up to 10 Marvel movies.
Yes, which is huge. Now, if he does sign this deal, because like you mentioned that they're only in talks, right? Like they're just talking about this deal.
Yeah.
So now, if he signs this deal, it's not 10 Deadpool movies. He's signing on to be Deadpool in 10 Marvel movies. Yes.
Oh, okay. My bad.
Oh no! Sorry, you didn't say that. I'm just saying, like, for anyone listening. It doesn't mean he's signing on to make 10 Deadpool movies. He's signing on to be in 10 Marvel movies as Deadpool is what he's signing on to do.
Okay.
So it could be, I don't know, like 1 or 2 like Deadpool standalone movies, but the other 8 he's signing on for, he's just making cameos.
Awesome. It'd be awesome too if he joins like the X-Men and be like with a Fantastic Four.
That'd be so sick. But that's the thing; they don't even have to follow the comics anymore. Like half the stuff they've been doing on screen is just fantastic anyway. Yeah, so they can make their own storylines, right? So I think, there's so much, and there's so many other, like you said, like Fantastic Four. There's so much left to be desired there. Like the movies they've made for Fantastic Four suck.
Yeah, they really do. Yeah, it's not that great.
So if they were to like reboot it again and then add Deadpool in there too, like I don't know, they could do something with that, right?
Yeah, exactly. They can too.
Yeah. So I don't know, him playing Deadpool, like he's awesome, man. He's so good at Deadpool. Like that's a great character, and he's literally the only person I can think of that can play him.
He's like the perfect part, like the perfect guy.
It's like a role he was born for. You know what I mean? Like it's so perfect. So
exactly.
I'm excited. I'm excited for that. If he signs that deal, then we're getting a lot more Deadpool. And I mean, we just haven't had enough Deadpool. We've had two movies.
Yeah, 2 movies. That's it.
So there you go. We need more of him. We need more.
Like we do need more because he's such a phenomenal actor, and he could
that too.
And he'd be he's one of Spider-Man's foes, so maybe be make an appearance in one of the Spider-Man movies.
Oh, he definitely would, right? He definitely. Yeah, if he signed on for 10 movies, he'd definitely end up in a Spider-Man movie. Oh, yeah, maybe even with Venom. That's the thing. They can. Isn't there something in the comics where, Deadpool merges with one of the symbiotes or something?
I don't know.
Or in a cartoon or something. I thought that was something. Maybe not, but I don't know. There's so much they could do with it,
Yeah, exactly.
And everyone's joining the MCU now, so it's pretty sick. Yeah. So if you want to move on a little bit, the Batman has been delayed again. It's been delayed again, unfortunately. I'm so excited for this movie, and to see that it's a year and a half away makes me want to cry because it looks so sick.
Yeah, it looks good. I know.
Yeah, so it was supposed to come out next year, obviously at the end of next year. Yeah, pushed back to March 4th, 2022.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it looks sick, and now it's pushed back, which I think could be a good thing, right?
I think so too.
Am I crazy in thinking that? Yeah.
No. It's true, because at the end of the day, if they do this, it'll be better for the company. I forgot who's directing, who's filming it.
Oh, Matt Reeve? No, sorry, I don't know.
I don't even know either. But anywho, if they delay it, it would be good for them, because with this going on right now, the pandemic and everything, it's just.
I think it gives them more time to work on it and really polish it too.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think we'd get it.
I was gonna say the exact same thing. Right.
So I think we'd get a better movie out of it. I just googled it, by the way. It's Matt Reeves who's the director. So I was missing an S.
Okay.
But yeah, man. I think it's gonna be it's a good thing in that I think when it finally comes out, we're gonna get a super polished movie, and anything that they wanted to change, they probably will, and it's gonna come out like a perfect movie. But on the the other side, I want to see it tomorrow.
Yeah, I know. I really do want to see it.
Batman's never really been, even with the Christian Bale series. They were those are really good movies, right? Don't get me wrong. Yeah. No, but I was never a huge fan of Batman. Still, you know what I mean?
Yeah, me too. I like Batman. I'm not
sure, yeah.
Like you just said, I'm not a huge fan of Batman.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For me personally, I like the Flash a little bit more than Batman, to tell you the truth.
Right, but everyone has their a lot of people like Iron Man over Spider-Man, or exactly. Captain America over whoever, right? A lot of people have their own preferences.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. Batman's cool. I like his character's origins. You know what I mean? So.
Right. No, I do too. He's a good character. But what I was gonna say was, I was, even with those movies, as great as they were when they were coming out, I was never a huge Batman fan still. But this movie, that trailer, and knowing that it's only what was it, 25% of the movie they filmed?
Yeah.
Something like that. After watching that trailer, I want to run through a wall.
It's run through the wall in the Hollywood studios and say, "So let's see you guys filming."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Where are you gonna be? Where are you gonna be?
What the hell's going on?
But yeah, man, it looks like a sick movie.
Yeah, it looks good. It looks good. I can't wait too.
The other thing that was in movie news this week, and it's ironic because I mentioned last week I watched Matrix for the first time, is Matrix 4 is coming out. Oh. I think it was moved forward. I think I read that it was actually moved forward from 2022, and now it has a December 22nd, 2021 release day, so next year.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
It has some of the same cast. I mean, as long as it has Keanu Reeves,
Yeah, that's the thing, because you didn't watch the second, third one yet. So.
No, I haven't, and I will work on that. I'm going to, and obviously I will by the time this movie comes out. But
that's the thing, because like I said last week, I don't want to spoil too much, but like you need to watch the second, third one to understand like why Keanu Reeves is back again, type of thing.
Exactly. Yes, and I will. And I know a lot of people have watched them all and are probably listening to this right now. Like, you idiot, you have no idea. You have no idea what's in store. But I think this is the closing movie, or like this is kind of wrapping up the series a little bit. I think is what I read as well. But I guess we'll see, or not wrapping it up, but kind of what's it called? Circling.
Fresh?
No, not starting fresh. Like circling back and kind of tying everything up so everything makes sense.
Oh, okay.
Right. I think that's what I read, but I think I have to watch the second and third one to, make an opinion on.
I didn't know they were going for that route, to tell you the truth.
That's something I read. I don't want to say that's what's happening. I will say that it's a rumor. So allegedly, I read something about that possibly happening. So that's interesting. Another rumor, which I guess it's a rumor, but they said it's in the works. And again, this is from Deadline, but also from @DiscussingFilm on Twitter, so it's a pretty reliable source. They're making a live action / animated, so I don't even know what that means, Thomas the Tank Engine movie.
Yes.
And the director is Mark Forster, who directed World War Z. This movie is gonna be insane. This movie is going to be off the walls. What the hell is a live action / animated hybrid? What is that? What does that mean? Like,
I think it's probably like maybe like a live action like
train,
like people actually like talking, and then probably animated train type of thing. Like
that's gonna look so dumb.
I know.
I have a feeling that it's gonna be like live action. So like the people are, because I remember there being a Thomas movie. I used to love this. I forget what it was called, the Magic Railway or something. Back in the day, it was live action. And I remember, yeah, like everything was live action, so the people were real. It wasn't like the cartoon, but the trains were like real, but the faces were animated. So I have a feeling it's gonna be the same thing.
Probably they might do the same thing, yeah.
And it just looks weird.
You get a guy from that directs a movie about crazy amount of zombies on the screen and climbing walls and stuff to like a peaceful choo-choo train. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And what's it called? Yeah, the movie I'm referencing, I can confirm I Googled it, is Thomas and the Magic Railroad. It came out in 2000, and it has Alec Baldwin played Mr. Conductor. So, how funny is that? Like, I remember that movie vividly from my childhood, and Alec Baldwin was in it. That's crazy. But, like, something, I have a feeling, if you want to, like, as insane as this movie, like, sounds, us talking about it, just Google Thomas and the Magic Railway, and I feel like it's gonna look something like that, like some weird animated trains, but live action people.
Yeah, like
right.
You just mentioned. Yeah, I think they're probably going for that route too.
And then the guy directing it is directed World War Z. Like, that's just, dude. Like, this is gonna be crazy. Oh my god, I can't wait. It's gonna be so funny.
I can't wait. I just want to see a trailer, see how it looks.
No, it's probably gonna be all like dramatic, not even for kids. Like, Thomas goes around killing other trains.
Yeah, it's like, hey, I'm gonna drive by and run you over.
Thomas is running over everyone on Sodor Island or whatever it's called. He's running over people. He won't stop.
See, like someone like tied up on the train tracks. Like,
train tracks, yeah. He did it, even though he's a train. You know, he tied them up. Doesn't make sense.
You see the smirks, like
yeah, like the awkward change in face, you know, from the cartoons. The face just changes randomly. Like, yeah, that's too funny. Oh my god, that's gonna be, dude. I could not. I saw it. I saw this on Twitter, and I was like, I can't ignore this. We have to talk about this. I was like, I can't just read that and then pretend like I didn't read it. It's too funny, man. I can't wait to learn more about that. Like, that's gonna be hilarious. Oh man,
yeah, I can't wait. I just want to see a trailer. That's all I want to see.
Me too. Like, this is gonna look so funny, man. Oh my god, I can't wait. Okay, moving on from Thomas. I wanted to bring something up because I think we don't have enough debates on this show, and we don't disagree enough on this show. So I wanted to bring up that going MCU or just Marvel in general versus DC, who do you think is the biggest, not in your opinion, right? Like, who do you think in everyone's opinion, like the general consensus from the public, who do you think is the biggest name or face or superstar from each brand? Who do you think is the biggest in Marvel, the number one, and who do you think is the biggest in DC? I'll let you go first.
For me, obviously number one, Spider-Man.
Yeah, from Marvel, yeah.
Yeah, because he's like he's the guy for Marvel. You know what I mean?
I know. He's the flag.
Like,
he's the flagship.
He's like the mascot of Marvel, pretty much.
Literally, the face for most people. I think.
Yeah, exactly. Because you go to Canada, like, oh, I know Spider-Man, and people like know the Hulk because you watch Avengers and stuff. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, exactly. Like, everyone knows Spider-Man, but some people only know Hulk because of the Avengers, right?
Yeah, Avengers.
There's a couple. There's a couple of them like that. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, but like Spider-Man, like he's the mascot for Marvel. Right?
Oh yeah.
DC is definitely Batman.
Yes, I will agree with you on that.
Yeah.
So I will say, it for DC. I think definitely it used to be Superman.
It was. Yes, it was.
You know what I mean? Like, let's say before the 90s, let's say. Like before, let's say around, I think, what's it called? When Michael Keaton was Batman, that really solidified Batman as number one.
Yeah.
And I don't think he's really
totally
given it up. You know what I mean? I think he's still number one.
Even like in the TV shows back in the 70s.
Oh, right, yeah. No, they were good. But I think back in the 70s, 80s, like before the 90s, like before Michael Keaton, I think it was 100% Superman, number one.
Yeah,
but since the 90s, since Michael Keaton, I think it's Batman. Like, I don't think anyone can debate that. Like, he is number one. He has the most, appeal. Like, he has the most, I don't know, flashiness.
He's pretty much like Iron Man, just in DC, pretty much.
Exactly. And it's funny you say that because you said Spider-Man was number one, but you said he's pretty much like Iron Man, and Iron Man is my number one for Marvel. I like, my personal opinion, I love Spider-Man number one, 100%, right? Mm-hmm. But who I think number one is in Marvel is Tony Stark, is Iron Man. Yeah, because he started the entire Avengers, right?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
So I think he is number one. And I think when spoiler alert, when he died in Endgame, I think that actually affected a lot of people. Me, I was like, well, he's not my favorite. Like, it's upsetting he had to go, but he did his role in these movies and did it well. But I think he's number one. Like, he was the face of Marvel for sure. He carried Marvel in the MCU, at least, I think.
He did. No, he did. I totally agree. He did.
So, but like for merchandise and cartoons and maybe even video games, like Spider-Man 100%. Like, I don't think anyone can disagree with that. But in terms of like, if you were to go up to somebody on the street, which you can't now because of the pandemic, but if you were to go up to somebody on the street and was like, name one character from Marvel, they would probably say either Iron Man or Spider-Man, but I would have a feeling most would say Iron Man. So, I think that's my little argument. So I think that was pretty good. What you wanted to bring up something about the Xbox?
Okay, so I was watching some YouTube videos that some people got early access to the Xbox Series X consoles, right?
Yes. Stupid name. I'm going to say it every time. Stupid name.
It's so stupid. I totally agree.
Yep.
So some people are having heating issues with the console.
Heating?
That's what I heard. Yeah, heating, yeah.
Like heat?
Yeah, heat, like overheating.
Like burning their house down?
No, but not that extreme, but just like...
Okay.
like, heating the console is... The fan's, like, not as strong as,
As other consoles, let's say?
Yeah, other consoles, yeah, exactly.
I see.
So, like, like, we play, like, PS4 for, like, maybe... like, say, an average gamer...
Like 2 hours, 3 hours?
Yeah, 3-4 hours, whatever, and
something like that.
Notice like the console, like the one you have, the older models has like a jet sticking off, right? So
yes, All of them do, I think, but the one I have, oh my god, dude.
Sounds like
Yep.
That's the thing too, because the Pro I have, right? It doesn't sound like that because they changed like the stuff in it to make it look a little bit better, right?
As they should, yeah. But
that's why they created these consoles like they upgraded like
the new updated versions, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So like what for the Xbox, they were saying that there's a lot of heating issues with what's going on, and then Sony is just released a video on YouTube showing like taking apart the console and everything, and the panels on the each side, or like if you lay it down at the top and bottom, you can remove it.
Right.
It shows the fan, and inside it has a liquid metal cooling technology, but it's
T1000.
Yeah, you know what I mean. And like,
it's a liquid metal cooler.
It's a liquid metal cooler.
This year to the Xbox Series One, or whatever the stupid name is, we brought the liquid metal T1000 in.
The cool down everything to be too good for this one. And then it's so like Sony's not messing around, man. Like
no, they aren't.
They're
taking this seriously. Yeah.
Yeah, they're taking this seriously. Yeah, like they were saying, like the cooling inside the liquid metal, it's actually really good. So
what I heard, and from the research I did, I think this is going to be the most how do I put this? How do I word this? The most advanced stock gaming system that's come out. Like it's going to have things in it that most gaming systems when they first come out, like the stock version, wouldn't have. It has a lot of stuff that like the PS Pro would include like 2 years down the road when they make a different version of it, right?
Exactly.
So that's what I've read and heard, that this, like, you can't say it because this is V1, this is version 1 of the PS5, right? But there's a lot of stuff they're putting in it now that they could have just not and put in like a PS5 Pro version like they did with the PS4 that is in the PS5 now. So they're really, Sony is not messing around. They know they're going to sell a lot of units, and they're making these consoles good. So
yeah, they are. And like I mentioned before, last week I got myself the pre-order for PS5, and
yes, you did. So you will be getting it November 13. Is it 13? 12. So it's coming. It's coming soon, man. This is like a month away.
Yeah, I know.
I'm still waiting for my digital. I can't find it anywhere anymore. I should have just probably pre-ordered it first day. But anyway, I will continue to wait and give everyone updates on me not finding it all the time. But yeah, it's a struggle, you know, trying to get that PS5.
Yeah, I know it is.
If anyone wants to just give me their pre-order, I will appreciate that. If anyone wants to just give me one, I would. Hey, if anyone listening wants to just give me a PS5, just thanks.
Yeah, it's like there goes your there's like your 2 birthday gifts and your Christmas gifts with like 3
dude,
Christmas.
Easily, yeah. The thing's expensive in Canada, guys. It is expensive console.
Yeah, it is.
Especially if you want a second controller and whatnot. Yeah. It's an expensive console.
It is.
But exciting nonetheless, that's for sure.
Me too. I can't wait till I get mine. So.
Let's get into our movie reviews this week.
Oh, yeah.
So once again, we're following with the theme. Since there's no MCU movies coming out this year, we're reviewing every MCU movie from start to finish. Well, to current, I guess. And we do 2 a week. So next on the list, obviously, Guardians of the Galaxy 2 and Spider-Man Homecoming. So we'll start with Guardians 2. Do you want to start?
I'll let you go first.
All right. The Guardians movies are awesome. I'll start with that. Yeah, they are great. And the soundtracks are fantastic. I still think the first one blows everything out of the water, but
absolutely.
Guardians 2, definitely a great movie too. It's a fun movie. Like, it's just like you just have so much fun watching Guardian movies, you know?
Yeah.
Like there's no stress. Well, there is, because there's always something always goes wrong in these movies, you know what I mean? Because they have to.
I know.
But compared to like watching I don't know, Iron Man. Like sometimes you get stressed out watching Iron Man because you're like, oh my god, everything's being blown up and like, whatever, right? But these movies are just like a fun time, I find. Like,
No, I totally agree.
they're funny, like good action, good story, obviously because the MCU, and they all, you know, all the directors and writers are fantastic over there. So I don't know, it's just like it's a funny movie. It's a fun movie to watch. Like, yeah, like I've said it, like the action's great.
This one, I think this one's much funnier than the first one.
Yes, I would agree with that. Yes, actually, but go on. Yeah.
No, but like they did like they added like new characters like the Mantis girl, and they introduced finally Peter Quill's dad, right? So,
yes, that too. And this movie also has you know, tie-ins and callbacks to the MCU as well to wrap everything up eventually as we move forward to Endgame too.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. Yeah.
A lot of these movies around this time had a lot of stuff like that, so that's good too.
Yeah, just like the storyline in this one was actually pretty decent.
Yes,
it was actually pretty good. Right. And like Baby Groot represent.
Baby Groot, of course. I am Groot. I have an I am Groot T-shirt, which is pretty sick.
Look a little bit. I am Groot.
I am Groot, and it's Vin Diesel, but it's not Vin Diesel. But that's a story for a different day. That's definitely not Vin Diesel, dude. But yeah, like it's a fun movie. Probably funnier than the first one. Yeah, soundtrack in the first one definitely better for me.
Yeah, for sure, for me too.
But yeah, man, it's a fun movie. I wanted to also bring up that it's oh my goodness, I can't even talk today. It's an 85% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is like that's a good score, man.
It's good. Yeah,
that's a good score for a not like super smash hit movie. You know what I mean? Like that's a great score. But what would you rate it? Oh my goodness, I can't even talk today.
I'll rate it. I'm gonna give it an 8.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
because I'm going to give it a 7. And
okay.
The reason is it's a fun movie. Like I said, comedy's great. You know, soundtrack's great. Storyline's great. But I don't think I would watch it over the first one, and I don't think I would watch it over a lot of the movies in the MCU.
Yeah,
if that's fair to say.
Yeah, for me, like this movie, if it goes on be on television or whatever, then sure,
sure.
I'll watch it.
Yeah, if it's on TV, if I'm scrolling channels, it's on TV, I might stop and watch it. But I don't know if this is a movie I would go out of my way to put on Disney Plus or something, right?
Yeah, Disney Plus.
Yeah. I just don't know if this is a movie I would do that for. So for that reason, I will give it a 7. It's still a really good movie, solid movie, but it's just not up there in the top tier for me.
No, yeah, for me, I'll give it an 8. I enjoy it like for what it is, and I like the sister bond of like Gamora and Nebula too. So
yeah, that too. Yeah, so it's pretty good. Now we'll move on to Spider-Man: Homecoming. This movie was huge because it's another reboot. He was in Civil War, but now he's getting his own standalone again, and it's a big deal. Tom Holland is awesome as Spider-Man. Not much more to say on that, really. Yeah. This movie, its soundtrack is good. It's a very like light movie, I guess, in times.
No,
at times.
I agree.
Like light as in like you get the sense that, you know, he is a teenager and, you know, he's dealing with school and all that stuff, and that's pretty cool because that's who Spider-Man is at the beginning, right?
Exactly.
But yeah, it's good. Like the acting is like the cast that they chose to represent Spider-Man now in the MCU is like no complaints whatsoever.
Yeah, he does a phenomenal job, and like this one too. He didn't went back to the routes of him like having the gadgets on his like head to shoot like the webs. You know what I mean?
Well, they had that in the Amazing Spider-Man too, but there was so much they did wrong with that. There was so much they did wrong with that. Like the good things get lost. So, but you're right. Yeah, he goes back to having gadgets, and of course, he's in the MCU now, so he has all this crazy fancy stuff that Tony Stark gave him, which is pretty cool to me too because it just fits in the story, right? Like I like it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's different, but it fits in the story, and you know, if this is what we're getting now, then enjoy it for what it is, right? Like,
Yeah. And they introduced Vulture as well. In this
Vulture, Shocker was in this movie as well.
Yeah.
Scorpion at the end meets the Vulture in jail. It's
right.
They start, introducing characters pretty quickly there, and it's just overall it's a fun movie. The storyline is great. The ending is fantastic. Like the final fight scene, how he overcomes not having his suit and having to beat him on will, right? Yeah, pushing his limits. It's awesome. Like it reminded me of the final fight of Spider-Man 1 with the Green Goblin.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Right? That harsh kind of, it was really good. Like I like stuff like that. So really well done movie. Because we have the power to use, since we're doing this podcast remote now, we have the power to use the internet. I'm giving the actual official score. So on Rotten Tomatoes, this movie got a 92%. Like people love this movie.
Yeah, this one was actually really good.
Yeah, so. And it has a audience score of over 108,000 ratings, is 87%. So that's huge. Like people love this movie, and me included, because he's written properly. You know what I mean? He is what Spider-Man is originally supposed to be.
Exactly.
And the way they merged it into the MCU, I really enjoyed this movie.
So did I.
So do you want to get into? Do you want to give any more thoughts or ratings, or what? Do you want to give thoughts?
I was gonna say, what would you give the rating for this one?
What would I give? Well, okay. When I give my rating, consider the fact that I absolutely love Spider-Man, and I'm being 100% biased here, but I'm giving this movie a 9.
Okay. I'm gonna give it I'll give it a 9.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, same thing. Yeah,
it's great. If I saw it on TV, I would stop and watch it. I would go out of my way to watch it on Disney Plus. It's a lot of fun to watch. Humor's good, action's good, acting's great, writing's really good. It's not a perfect movie, but it's a really good movie to watch.
Yeah, it is. I totally agree.
That is Spider-Man Homecoming, and that is our movie reviews for this week. So, I wanted to bring something, since, we have the power of the internet, like I mentioned. I wanted to bring up worst movies of all time on Rotten Tomatoes. Now, there's some, I was scrolling, and I saw some with like 3%, which, like, if you're listening, that is horrible, okay? 3%, like, Andrew, you can agree, right? Like,
oh, absolutely, yeah. Oh, yeah.
3 is like bad. Like why even waste your time making this movie, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And I was scrolling, and I'm like, wow, there's a lot of 3s, and like even 4. If you get 4, that's bad. So I'm scrolling on Rotten Tomatoes, and I found 1%, and I think you found a 0, right?
Yeah, there's like zeros. Yeah.
Like that's bad, man. And like I found a couple movies I remember watching, and I remember being like, because I was young, right? And I'm like, I don't know if this movie, like, if I didn't understand it, or if it's just a really bad movie, One of them is Daddy Day Camp, which is, I think, a ripoff.
Yeah, I know that one.
Of Daddy Daycare with Eddie Murphy. So I think it's like a sequel to it, but without Eddie Murphy, because the first movie with Eddie Murphy was great. I don't know if you've ever watched it.
I watched that one. Yeah,
where he's taking care of the kids, and it's like crazy. That's a really good movie. This one, not a great movie. And the other one, I don't know if you remember this movie either, is Disaster Movie.
Disaster
Movie. It has like Hulk and like Iron Man in it, and like
scary movie and shit, right?
Like it's like Scary Movie, but it's called Disaster Movie, and it's like a little bit different.
I think I watched that one.
I'm sure you have. It's really bad. Like the scary movies. Scary movies are like spoofs of like Scream and stuff, right? But they're legitimately
like horror movies too, like
other exactly. Yeah, not just Scream, but it includes Scream, right? But like at least it's funny, like at least
this one's just really bad.
Exactly. Like I remember there's one scary movie with someone's playing Eminem, I think, right?
Oh, that's the third one.
The third one, and I think oh my goodness, Charlie Sheen's in it too, right?
Yeah,
That's the one. And then he's like, he's getting on the bus, and he's like, "Catch you later, homie." And then like the bus doors close on his face.
yeah.
I think that's the same movie. Right? Yeah. Yeah. And he's supposed to be Eminem. Oh, that movie. See, at least those movies are fun, right? I think that's the one with the aliens too. And they're like, "This is how we say hi," and they kick him in the balls.
Yeah, kick him in the balls.
Yeah. That's those are really good.
No, I think the hi was choking them, and it's like, how you say bye? And then they kicked them in the balls.
And they kick. Yeah, that's right. Yes, you are correct.
And the P for the finger too.
Yes, the finger too. Yes.
Yeah.
Classic stuff.
Yeah, but that was really bad.
Yeah, those are really bad. But like, you scroll through the list, and there's movies here that you've never seen, and you're like, okay, well, I've never seen it, right? And that's why it's bad.
There's another one with Eddie Murphy too. I forgot to mention Pluto Nash, bro.
Oh, the worst movie, dude. Like, there's a couple with Eddie Murphy in them that just tanked, and it's like, I just don't know if Eddie Murphy picked the wrong movies that were supposed to be good, or if Eddie Murphy's just in too many movies.
Yeah, at that time, like that one was just bad, man.
Bad, yeah. Like, it's one of those movies that like, don't even waste your time, you know? Like, just do something else with your day. Like,
hell, even the movie he did with what was it called, Norbit? You watched that one?
I did actually, yes. I remember that movie fondly.
That one, it was like stupid, but like it was just, this one, Pluto Nash, is just really freaking
But there's a difference between like legitimately terrible and stupid, but it's funny, right? Because I think that the scary movies are incredibly stupid movies, but they're funny, right?
Yeah, I
like
totally agree.
They make you laugh. Like, there's a point to them, right? Yeah, they're stupid, but it makes you laugh. So, but yeah, some of these movies are just brutal.
Really bad.
I want to search up best movies of all time now too on Rotten Tomatoes, just to give contrast. So the best movie on Rotten Tomatoes. Do you want to guess? I don't know if you will. No, it's not Titanic.
Okay.
Titanic isn't really here even.
Oh, I'm interesting. Whoa. This one was really good. What was it called? The Perk of the Wallflower or something?
I think that's on the list somewhere, but it's not that. It is Black Panther.
Wow.
96%. Really? Yep. Black Panther.
Yeah, that movie was actually, it was good to both.
Oh, dude, that movie is, I can't wait till we get to review it. It's like, I was blown away by this movie.
Yeah, me too.
And then
actually really good.
Endgame is second.
Oh yeah, of course.
And Us is third. Have you ever watched Us?
I did. That one was fun.
That's a great movie, dude. Yeah.
That one was good. Yeah.
I really enjoyed that movie. I thought it was very different. Another interesting one that a lot of people wouldn't think, but I think it's considered the best Spider-Man movie of all time, dude.
Spider-Man 2.
No.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
97% at 14th is Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Oh.
The animated one.
That one was good.
A lot of people love that movie. I thought it was really good, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, that one was really good.
It's a great movie.
Yeah, that one was actually, I like that one a lot.
Yes. Star Wars: The Last Jedi is even up here, but like this is kind of skewed because it's based off reviews and number of reviews. So like some movies don't have as many reviews, so you can't really tell, right? Exactly. So it's like it's kind of messed up, kind of that, like in that kind of way. Because like number 5 on the list, you have like Toy Story 4, which is number 4, like super new movie, 97%, and then under that is The Wizard of Oz from 1939.
Oh, okay.
Right? Like, how does that make any sense, right? Like, I don't know. It's like kind of messed up.
What's the next one after that?
Lady Bird. I've never actually watched that movie, so I can't.
I never watched it.
I've never watched the movie, yeah. So I can't comment on it.
Is it the movie Parasite on the top?
No, but I heard. See, that's another controversy. But that movie isn't really huge in like North America. It's a great movie, they say, but apparently it didn't do as well in North America for some reason, because I guess it wasn't marketed as well, and it's Like, I don't think it's in English or something like that, right? There's only subtitles.
Yeah, I think it's in Korea only. I think it was just more famous in Korea.
Yeah, exactly. No, but it's like I heard. I haven't watched it yet. I have to watch it, but I just heard it's a phenomenal movie. You know what I mean? Like,
me too.
even with subtitles.
Really good. Yeah.
So, but I heard that's a theory that like it just didn't do well in North America, and that if it was in English, let's say, and promoted better here, then it would be like one of the top movies ever, or this in the last 10 years, or something like that, right?
Yeah.
One thing I wanted to bring up on the podcast, especially for you, because I don't think you've watched it ever, and I would consider everyone to watch this movie. It's called The Room. You've probably seen memes of it, like "You're Tearing Me Apart, Lisa," and you've seen it if you Google it. And then there's like one clip where he's walking out of a rooftop and he's like, "I did not hit her. I did not hit her." And then he just stops and he's like, "Oh, hi, Mark." Like, it's terrible acting, right? Like, it's awful, but it has a 25% on Rotten Tomatoes because people love the movie because it's so bad, right? And they keep releasing it on Blu-ray every few years, like new releases. It's crazy.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I did not know that.
You should like 100% YouTube this movie. Like, it's hilarious because it's so bad.
Freaking! I heard that they rebooted with James Franco.
Yes, that was the other thing I was gonna bring up. Yeah. First of all, look into The Room. That's the original movie. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
And we actually studied this movie in college because of how bad it is, but people love it. So we had to study it because it's considered the worst movie on screen of all time, but people love it because there's movies that are bad and people hate it, but this movie is legitimately terrible, but people love it for some reason. So
I need to watch it.
It's we talked about it, or we had to study it in college. But anyway, the other movie I'm talking about is starring James Franco, and I think it's directed by him and his brother's in it. I forget his name. I forget his name. His brother's in it. He plays the other guy in The Room because there's two actors in The Room. So the movie is called Disaster Artist. It's on Netflix. So if it's a quick, easy watch for anyone. You don't have to go anywhere or buy anything. It's on Netflix. It's called Disaster Artist. They're basically reenacting the making of The Room, the making of this terrible movie.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes. So James Franco plays Tommy Wiseau, who's the main character from The Room, and how he's like crazy and he just came out of nowhere from like Europe or Switzerland or something and has all this money. Nobody knows who he is. He's like, I'm going to make this movie. Like, he made the movie without any studio. He funded it himself. He did everything himself. And it's a terrible movie. It's awful. And it's like, Andrew, you have no idea. Like, I tell people about this movie all the time because it'll be like they're having an argument and it's like really bad acting. Like, she'll be like, I don't want to be with you anymore. And he like turns around and he's like, you're tearing me apart, Lisa. And like, very awkward. And then like it'll cut and it'll be a sex scene. Like, it's a crazy movie. It's a crazy movie.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it's insane. So then this movie, The Disaster Artist, by James Franco, is basically they're reenacting the movie, the making of the movie, the behind the scenes, and actually on set. So it's a really good movie. I would definitely watch both if I was anyone else. I would recommend it. It's life changing.
When you mentioned that part when like the bad acting and then they go to the sex scene.
Yeah,
There's another movie that did that called Samurai Cop. Oh my god, that movie.
Yes, you mentioned that earlier. Yes.
Yeah, it's so bad, man.
That's another one to add to your watch list. Sometimes it's funnier to watch movies that are terrible than movies that are good.
Yeah, just to see like
it's almost worth it. It's almost worth your time more. You know. It's almost worth your time more. Okay, but definitely watch those. I'm not kidding, everyone. So we'll move on to our favorite segment of every week. It is now time for Darius's difficulties and Andrew's annoyances.
Mm-hmm.
So Andrew, you can go first this week.
Okay, sure. I'll go first. So you go to like a special event, like a concert or a sporty event like hockey, basketball, whatever,
Yeah, sport event
baseball.
or concert,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
concert. Yeah. So, say like you're in line and you're like in the back, and then people start coming through the doors, whatever. You think the person like, oh, maybe this person will go like behind the few people like behind me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, but some people like to just go in front and sneak in the front, and let's just like, oh, I'm gonna be the one there, and then nobody says anything. Like, I'll give you an example. There was one time that me and my girlfriend Daniela, we went to see the Raptors game. It was Vince Carter's last game here in Toronto, by the way.
Well, they didn't know at the time, but it ended up being Vince Carter's last game.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he was gonna play another one,
But then
Toronto.
the season got canceled. Yeah.
Yeah, the season got canceled. So,
Yes.
anywho, we saw this people like coming in, and they're dressed up as My Little Pony costume. I don't know why, but
Okay.
yeah, I know.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. I was like, okay, sure. And they butt a line. I'm like, why did you cut in front of the line? Go in the back.
Yeah.
And then he was like, Andrew, what are you doing? I'm like, oh, I don't give a shit. This is bullshit,
I agree.
Why is people like cutting in front of the line, like sneaking in there? And I got one of the guys. I'm like, hey, do you know these people here dress up as My Little Pony or My Little Jackasses? I should call them. They're freaking. They cut in line. They're like, really? And I'm like, yeah. And people are like, yeah, they did. And when they're like almost at the gate, they had to go all the way in the back.
All the way back. Yeah, but you know what? That's karma.
Yeah, it is karma. It's bullshit. I hate that.
I hate that people think they're more entitled or something. Everyone's standing in the line. You have to go to the end of the line and you'll get in just like everyone else.
Yeah, just be patient.
That's how it goes.
All it is.
Or get to the event early. That's how it goes. So just wait in line.
Exactly. And then like the other day
Everyone's
too,
doing it.
Gino's Pizzas had like a customer appreciation event, right, for like a couple days.
Sure.
So
Most places do that sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and then I just waited in line and waited to go inside and order, my pizzas, right? And then this woman comes and is like, "Oh, can I just walk in and order the pizza?" And I was like, and I told her straight up, I'm like,
No.
because she was there, and I was like, you want to get in? You want to go pay? I was like, I'll let you in. So would you? I'm like, yeah, give me $20.
For my spot in line, yeah, I'll give you $20.
So give me $20. She's like, no. I'm like, okay, go back to the line. And the guy there was like, people were like laughing when I said that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, you want to
Usually,
be in front of the line?
I mean, if it's a situation where I'm buying a lot of stuff and somebody's buying like two things, then I'll let them go first. But
Yeah,
if everyone's in line to get pizza or for whatever it is, then I'm not letting anyone in front of me.
Yeah,
like if I go to I've gone to like the pet store before to get food for my dog, and I have one bag of food, and then there's a guy in front of me buying like 70 little things of wet food, and I'm like, can I please go first?
Then what did he say?
No.
Oh, wow.
I know, but like I'm just saying, if it was me in that situation, I'd be like, yeah, go first because you'll be done in 30 seconds, and then I'll continue my stuff, right?
Yeah,
but if it's a situation where everyone's in line for the same thing, then nah, man, you're waiting.
Yeah, exactly.
Just like everyone else. Yeah.
Yeah, I hate that, man.
That's
so,
annoying.
Yeah, that's my annoyance. Yeah,
That's your annoyance. Well, my difficulty this week
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah.
is when people repeat themselves too many times.
Oh, I know that feeling.
You know, when you're just not even talking to someone in one conversation, but throughout a day, maybe it could be a coworker, it could be a family member, but they repeat themselves over and over and over again.
I know that feeling.
Yes. Yes. We all know somebody, or could be, like I said, a coworker, somebody from school, somebody from wherever at home, that just continually repeats themselves all the time and just says the same thing or the same sayings or
over and over again.
Over and over again. Or like not even the same sayings, just like, I don't know, like oh, don't forget you got to do this, like thank you for reminding me, but you don't have to say it 17 million times, right?
I know that feeling.
Yes. So
I'm gonna stop. Oh, Jesus Christ.
but yeah, man, like it's annoying. Like I appreciate it one time. If somebody tells me, 1-2 times or whatever, like, hey, don't forget this, whatever, that's nice. But don't tell me like 17 times in one day, like.
Yeah, exactly. I told you.
And don't use the same don't say the same things all the time. You know what I mean? Don't repeat yourself too many times.
I know that
could get annoying.
Look at stuff.
Okay. All right. Well, that's my difficulties.
That really annoys me too.
That's Darius's difficulties and Andrew's annoyances for this week. So, ladies and gentlemen, that was the first official DNA podcast remotely done. I would like to get video going still of our faces. I think it would be kind of cool to still see our faces and have us make jokes about different consoles and whatnot, but nonetheless, still a good episode. Still a lot of things to work out as things go along, but that's the same for every place now, I guess, with the pandemic, right? So obviously you can find us on all of our socials, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Everything's in the description or the details tab on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Obviously, like I just mentioned, we're on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. You can find us on YouTube to watch the podcast as well. So just you can just put it in the search bar. And yeah, don't forget about our giveaway, right, Andrew? If you want to explain that one last time before the episode ends.
So just like I said before at the beginning of this podcast, just go on YouTube or Instagram, put hashtag Gears of War, or just put Gears of War, and it's for the second and third game of the series on the Xbox. And just put that, and then you have your chance to win 2 games.
There you go. And it's the Xbox One, not the Xbox Series S or the Xbox Series X or the Xbox Series T or the Xbox Series V.
Yeah, it's V and the Xbox P and
C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K. Yeah, but
Xbox 0, like fuck.
Xbox 0010100. But
Xbox Liquid Metal T1000.
Yes, that's the one. But anyway, thank you very much for watching and listening this week. We'll be back next week with another episode. Obviously, still a lot to work out and fix, but we'll move forward and continue to bring you guys news and our thoughts on everything pop culture, video games, movies, whatnot. So thanks for watching and listening. Stay safe, everyone. And Andrew?
Yeah, take care of yourself and be safe out there and have yourself a good weekend. And to all Canadian, have yourself a good Thanksgiving.
Yes, Thanksgiving weekend if you're Canadian this upcoming, or I guess when this episode comes out today. So happy Thanksgiving, everyone, and we'll see you next week.
They get stuffed on that turkey, goddamn.
Yeah, I will not stop, I cannot stop, I'm gonna win the fight. Always running towards my goals, faster than the speed of light. Flying over any obstacle, I swear that I'm a kite. Every struggle is a blessing if you're looking at it right. Unstoppable, yeah, I'm unstoppable.